What is up, everybody? It is Drew, Traveler Branding Best here, and today we are here with
Sonic.
Yo, what's up, brother? So, how did you do? Tell us what happened this weekend.
So I went to YCS Raleigh.
Yep.
Decided to play my favorite deck, Kashtira, and I ended up coming in top 32. I finished 22nd.
Nice. And you were the only pure cash in Top Cut, right? Everybody else was Snake Eye
Yep.
cash.
Yep.
All right. So I'll let you just go ahead and hop into it and just walk us through everything.
Okay. Starting off with the monsters, it's pretty much self-explanatory. We have the 3 unicorns, 3 Fenrirs, 3 Rice Hearts, and then the 1 Scarecrow.
Perfect.
This is pretty much standard for pure cash. You don't play the Tailorman. I know other people are playing Ogre and Prep. I didn't feel like this, after the post-ban list, that we would have seen much lab players. So I wasn't really going into the whole Ogre Prep combo like I used to do before. And I thought I would be seeing more Snake Eyes and Voiceless after this post-ban list. So that's the whole reason why I decided to keep the lineup simple.
Perfect.
And then for the hand traps, we have can't have cash without shifter. So we got 3 shifters.
MVP card. How many games did you open this?
So surprisingly, I have not opened it that much throughout the event. I do have my whole match report that I wrote down after every round.
Yeah.
It did come up, especially against Snake Eyes,
Yeah.
and it didn't come up against Snake Eyes. But even then, I was still able to win
That's awesome.
games without it. The tech choice that I decided to do this weekend after the post-ban list was main deck 3 Nips.
Nice. Probably really smart.
I felt with like no more Omni Negates, more people will be more susceptible to Nib.
Yep.
If they're not able to make the Appaloosa play, then they would get hurt by it.
Absolutely. How many times did you drop nib on people?
I dropped it a couple times.
Yep.
And then even then, like right after I had burst, so it's not like I needed to go into clearing my board and bringing out my guys, but
Nice.
they came up. And then my other hand traps were 3 Veilers. Oh, that's not a Veiler. And I went with Veilers just because I need to be able to slow down Snake Eye Fire Kings or just pure Snake Eye as much as I can.
Yep.
And in order to do that, if I'm not drawing this, I need to either have this, 3 Ash,
Yep.
and 2 Mourners.
Okay. So, with you playing Shifter, did you ever feel like you would have preferred a 3rd Mourner over like the 3rd Veiler?
No, because like these just became follow-up
Nice.
after the whole Shifter ended.
Yep.
Like Veiler, I like it more over Mourner. I didn't need a 3rd Mourner just because I'm not going into Baron anymore. So having more level 3 tuners didn't factor.
Okay.
I did play against Runic Stun, which was one of my only losses.
Did you play against Furman? Or was it someone else?
I could look up his name afterwards. But it was basically he decked me out games 1 and 3. The more problematic card that he had in his whole deck was Synchro Zone, which is stopping me from attacking.
Sounds like it could have been Furman. But did he top too? The guy that you played?
The guy that I played ended up making day 2, but did not top.
Okay. So it probably wasn't Furman because he did top.
Yeah. But other than that, these did his wonders against Snake Eyes, and I played a lot of it.
Awesome.
Going to the spells. So, starting off, we have 4 planets with terraforming. Best card in the whole deck, 3 bursts. And then I decided to only play 2 Theosis because you wanted to play at 3 and keep consistency to having played with Kashtira. But me main decking as many hand traps as I was, I needed to cut back to keep the deck at 40. So the 3rd one didn't hardly ever came up for me because I know how to make my plays well. And like half the time I'm only using one to bring out another monster. The 2nd one's just there for me to banish off Rice Heart to get the birth back.
Yep.
And then the 3 Pot of Prosperities for consistency.
Sweet. How did Prosperity work out for you? Did you get your hits that you wanted, or was it like, I wish
It
it's
did give
better?
me my hits, but as a sneak preview to what I'm about to show you my extra, doing the Heat Soul line, it kind of backfires when you do Heat Soul draw into Prosperity. So
Yeah. When I was testing this deck, I think I was like very close to cutting Prosperity because of like the Heat Soul line and being like, oh, draw 2 seems better.
So like anytime I open up a Prosperity, I know I'm definitely not going into the Heat Soul line.
Yep.
So I just banish the targets for that. But other than that, like, prosperity is still needed for consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next, for the traps, standard 3 imperms. And then MVP of my whole weekend was Rivalry or Warlords.
Dude, I saw so many people on stream flip this card, and before I was like, oh, it's at 1, I'm not going to play it in anything. And now I'm like, man, I got to play this in every deck that plays like one type. This card's nuts.
So, surprisingly, this actually helped me get my top 32 in my last round. I'm playing against Pure Snake Eyes, and my opening hand was Planet, Theosis, Surprise Tech in my side deck, Econ, Rivalry, and Effect Veiler.
Okay.
So having only 1 interruption against Snake Eye wasn't going to do it justice. I did use the Veiler to see that would slow him down. It didn't. He still had full combo.
Yeah.
And then he ended up ending his board with Flame Birch, Apple with 3 negates, Field Spell, and IP Masquerade on the back row with 2 sets.
Yep.
My draw for turn was a Dimension Shifter. Not that I wanted to see that, especially after wasting my Veiler. So I ended up knowing that what he was going to do next. I decided to set everything because on my draw phase, he activated Anti-Spell.
Okay.
So me having 3 spells in my hand against Anti-Spell was not going to work.
No.
So I set my Field Spell, I set the Theosis and my Econ, and I set my Rivalry under the Anti-Spell to kind of make him think it was Imperm.
Yep.
Because if he's worried that if he thinks that's an Imperm, he's not worried about it if he's going to attack for game with an open board.
Yeah, and then God forbid he sets a back row too and it's Imperm and it shuts off the Rivalry because he sets in the same column too.
Exactly.
It's kind of just a double-edged sword.
So on his turn, right before it ended, he activated Flame Burst, brought out IP, made Little Knight. He activated the effect, and he ended up targeting my Theosis and banished it.
Yep.
So on the following turn, he tried to proceed to try to OTK me. I flipped up Rivalry, and that forced him to use his SP Little Knight to banish that in Apple. He attacked with all 4 Snake Eye monsters, which dropped me down to 400 life points. And then from there, I was able to claw back and actually win that game.
Nice.
So definitely the MVP of the deck right there.
Yeah, for sure.
So deck counts at 40.
Okay.
Side deck. The only monsters I decided to side deck this weekend, which I was conflicting on maining along with Nib, was 3 Droves.
Okay. No golems.
No golems.
No golems. All right.
Yeah, I decided to just go with Droves because Flu is still around there.
Yep.
After the regional I got my invite with last weekend at Hartford, everybody was playing Branded, the 60 card pile that Pack released. And I just wanted to be prepared for that matchup.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially Drove, both shifter decks, like this will definitely slow them down. And any other deck that size.
Yeah, and I mean, like most of the shifter decks, they search a lot. So you cut out your shifter and you throw the Drolls in, and it's just you're exactly where you need to be.
Yep. Actually, one Flute player was surprised that against him that I had decided to keep the Effect Veiler. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But he thought that I was going to side him out as well, and I just kept him.
Yeah, well, you're kind of better having the Veilers and the shifters against Flu.
Yeah, 100%. For spells, I sided 2 Lightning Storms.
Okay.
And 3 Cosmics. These are all my back row 8s right there.
Nice.
I almost sided this in my last round against that Snake Eye player, and I decided not to. I decided to go with the 2 Econs.
Yeah.
Kind of wish I had it to get over the anti-spell, but it ended up working out for me anyways.
Yeah, and hey, you only had 400 life points left, so it could have cost you the game.
It could have cost me the game, you're right. To continue, I have also my tech card. I have to give a huge shout out to Will Fresh Rodriguez for this. He told me to side these, and it actually helped me make my day 2.
Okay.
My final round day 1, or 2 Econs. Last round in day 1, I played against a hero deck.
Okay.
I shifted him twice. So in game 2, after I shifted him, he plays a hero lives, pay 4,000.
Yep.
And he ended up with a plasma and a set card, which ended up being a tactics.
Okay.
Obviously, I drew no hand traps for him to tactics me, so he just set it as a bluff. So I drew this card for turn, and then seeing how he had plasma, which is like a mini skill drain people don't know.
Yeah.
I went and normal summon Unicorn, activated Unicorn's effect to search a spell, and then chained the Econ to take his plasma.
Okay.
I resolved the Unicorn to get the birth, and then after I had his plasma, I used birth, brought back the Unicorn, and attacked for game.
Nice. Nice.
So this card definitely put in work a couple times, and yeah.
Yeah, as long as you get to birth, like, you can just keep playing. Like,
Yes,
that's
100%.
That's why the deck is really just so crazy. If they hit that card, then I'd be like scared of how the deck would do.
Yeah, I probably would lean away from cash if they did hit birth.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Everybody talks about, oh, Fenrir is going to get cut. They're going to hit cash. Cash is not the problem, even though they are really good cards. They are a really strong engine that people are now taking in Snake Eyes.
Yep.
But the deck and the cards are not the problem.
Yeah.
Which people forget. And people always forget that when it comes to the ban list, Konami doesn't care about cards. They just care about money and product.
Yeah, yeah. Push that product, man. That's all they care about.
And then moving on, I had the trap, so I sided in 2 D barriers. I wanted to have an answer for Brandon.
Yep.
Eventually, it did not come up in my top 32 as I was trying to draw into when I did the Heat Soul play. Instead, I ended up drawing into Pot of Prosperity.
Okay.
Which was not good. So my top 32 was a written feature match, and you guys can read all about it. And then the last standard, I believe, that you constantly need, 3 Solemns.
Okay. Solemn's really, really good card.
It is a really good card. Helps you when you're setting up going first.
Yep.
I only really side these in just in case people would try to evenly mean.
Yeah.
Did not get evenly, not once.
That's good.
You know, I had a friend of mine who told me during the weekend that I probably should have main decked the evenly.
Yeah.
Because with no Omni negates, you know,
Yep.
it must be easier to wipe a whole board that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I felt like it wasn't needed as much, and I just kept it in just in case I saw it.
Yeah. Now, I've played a little bit of cash, not as much as you have, but did you ever consider playing like D-Fissure, or was it like just not even in consideration? No.
So like I played against other Kashtira players that played with D-Fissure.
Yeah.
And the mirror match obviously doesn't do anything.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like you can try to be cute, have D-Fissure against Snake Eyes, but with Cosmics running around, I just felt like D-Fissure wasn't that good.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it.
And like I rather like against Snake Eyes, if you're going second and you see D-Fissure in hand, whether it could have been another hand trap, I'd rather have that other hand trap.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then for the extra deck, so going back to the whole Heat Soul line, you have the 1 Draco Sack,
Yep.
2 Link Spiders, 1 Crystal Heart, and 1 Heat Soul.
Nice.
For people who don't know how the Heat Soul line works, you start off with Unicorn, search Birth, and then if you have a Fenrir, you can activate Birth, normal summon the Fenrir.
Yep.
Or you can, if you have Rice Heart, you just normal summon the Rice Heart, activate the effect to make it a level 7.
Yep.
Usually you want to banish like Fenrir. And then you go into overlay this, because you're not locked into anything.
Yep.
Draco Stack will give you 2 tokens, which will make 2 Link Spiders. Then you will leak these 2 away for Crystal Heart. Crystal Heart will reborn back the Link Spider to increase the attack, and then you just link 2 away for Heat Soul.
Yep.
Then you'll be able to pay 1,000, draw an extra card. Then after that, you have, depending on your matchup, you can either go into a Little Knight or an Appaloosa.
Yep.
2 negate Appaloosa is not strong, but like at the time, you probably only need to use it once, because if you have like a 3 or 4 negate Appaloosa, and then they go attack us and take it, now you have to deal with your own Appaloosa.
Yeah, exactly.
At least with 1 negate, you could probably get around with it.
Yeah.
And then for the main, because I was main decking Nib this weekend, I decided to put For Hire back in.
Okay.
Just in case if I got locked with a Nib, I could just normal summon Rice Heart, link both away, and then pop the token and clear my board to bring out Unicorn and Fenrir.
Yep. Yep. Not a bad idea.
And then standard XYZ, I was playing 1 Shang, 1 Big Eye, 1 Harmonizer. The reason I decided to play Harmonizer is because Fire King specifically with Snake Eyes.
Okay.
The destruction effect, it protect that as long as it has a link XYZ material that's fire attribute.
Yep.
So I could always steal their Princess or their Kieran or any of their fire monster Runics, and it'll be protected from being destroyed by fire effects. 1 Dark Arm, 1 Sky Crisis, and 1 Zeus.
Yep.
These 2 are standard in cash, so is Dark Arm. Like a lot of times I wish I had a second one of these. Because I like to use the first one to bait out, and getting your like banishing Birth or then Theosis from the grave like lets you get more follow-up back.
Yeah.
And then this card actually won me a funny match against Flu, which was Red Ice Flare.
That card like comes up more than people think in this
It
deck.
does, and I played in my round 2. I played a Flu player who I pushed him down to like 4,000 life points, And then I overlaid this afterwards, and he had like 5 cards in hand.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just debating, because I know he added a lot of monsters like Robina, Eggman, all that. So he was trying to figure a way to see how he can clear my board and not lose like as much life. But he continued his play, got all the way down to 400 life points. Had both Apex and M-Pen. Got rid of my Flare and Dark Arm.
Yeah.
So they were both in defense position. And then right after that, I was able to come back and win the following turn.
Nice, nice, awesome. So overall, what are your thoughts on the deck? What were your thoughts on the event? Tell us, like, you know, what your overall thoughts are going forward for the deck too.
The event was good. I started off 6-0. Then I ended up losing to Jeff Jones, awesome guy. Then I ended up losing to Runic Stun following after, and then my last round day 1 was against Heroes.
Okay.
But then overall, like, I had set up my deck to play more well against Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Whichever was Fire Kings or Pure, and it definitely did its justice against them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
The tournament was good. I had my friends there with me, supported me, having me keep my head up and just take it one game at a time. Shout outs to Will Rodriguez for helping me deck build. My teammates, Conrad White for being my testing partner. My son Luis Ruiz, Brian Rodriguez, Roberto Martinez, and Vincent Hopkins, always being there testing and every single day on our asses testing every day. Shout out to Team Imperials, best locals anywhere in Connecticut.
Hell yeah, man. Best store around. Nothing beats it.
We got a lot of strong players. And then also my close friends, Mike and Min, they were there with me throughout the whole tournament. Mike was actually there with me on day 2. Unfortunately, he didn't get to get his top. He ended up losing on day 2. So, but overall, the event was good. We had all our friends supporting us, and it was a great event.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the top. Glad you did well, and hopefully we get to see more tops from you in the future, all right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video, and this is Drew, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, signing out.
Peace.